today. Aaron Lehman is with us as well today as we talk about family promise. Good morning. It's good to see you again.
Morning. Good to see you too. And thank you for having a format that we can all come on and talk about our stuff.
Yeah, well, this is good stuff here.
Yes.
Family promise. For folks who can't remember or haven't had exposure to it in the past, what is Family Promise?
What we are is we're a program that takes families that are homeless. We give them a place to stay. We teach them fiscal responsibility. We teach them, different ways to live. And then what happens is after they get out of the program, they're functioning members of society. They're paying taxes. They're not on the system anymore. And we have an 84% success rate. And the other cool thing is we had three families go from homeless to homeowner, and we had one in 3 years.
Wow. It's fantastic. And one of the great things about it is, and you don't want to think of it as a side promise, but there are churches who find themselves new members in that way as well. That's, it's not what the intent of the program is, but it certainly is a wonderful, wonderful benefit of it.
Yeah, we are an interfaith organization, so we do rely on churches to host the families and also to support the other churches with food and talking about different things, and it's been really, really, really successful.
Your church support is one area by which you can run a program such as this. You've got a lot of other support, though, too.
We do. The community is a big supporter of it. Dave Reed has been pretty good with us, and we're trying to just make it so families, like I said, are off the street. One of the things that we always ask is, the average age. Well, tell people the average age of a homeless person in the United States is 9 years old. And a lot of people don't understand that. The reason why we don't see homelessness in Indiana is because we do not have people living on the street. We have people living in cars. We have people couch surfing. We have people living in tents in the woods. So we don't see the homeless problem, but it is there.
Yeah, it certainly is. And does that average age, does that translate to Indiana County as well?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes. And there are approximately 400 people every night that are homeless. Yeah. But the good thing about Family Promise, talking about the kids, is the fact that the kids still go to the home school. Mm-hmm. So wherever they are, they'll still go to the school that they were in before they came into the program.
Yeah. Tell me about the structure of Family Promise. How is it that you are organized and are able to coordinate so well with all of the different entities that are involved?
Well, Carol Reed, our executive director, does a really good job of talking to the different organizations in the area. We get referrals from different organizations to us, and then we have to have a screening process to see if we can take the person, if we can take the family in, we can take them in. So she does a really good job of that. We have volunteers also that do that, and the churches have been a really big help with that too.
Yeah. And of course, it takes a special congregation of a church in order to make themselves available for a program such as this.
Yes, it does. And the churches have been phenomenal. We're always looking for more churches that want to do a mission, and it's a really inexpensive mission if you want to be a support church, because all you have to do is make a dinner for the families, and that's about it. The host churches will actually host the families, and without their support, we wouldn't have a program. So I would want to thank all the churches and all the parishioners that help out. It's been wonderful.
So a church can become a provider of meals or other services. What are some of the ways that people can help Family Promise fulfill its mission?
The biggest way, like every nonprofit would say, is monetary. One of our operating budget without payroll is about $3,000. That would pay for newspapers for families to get jobs. That would pay for, the internet. That would pay for our mortgage that we have on the Family Promise House, which is across from the Indiana County Guidance Center. That would pay for, electric, gas, that type of thing. So what I was trying to do, I was trying to break it down and, pretty much have 100 people pay $30. That would be $3,000. Mm-hmm. So on our website, you could actually hit the donate tab, and you could donate $30, $1 a day, and that would go a big way to helping us so we can actually continue to fulfill the promise. We've had some individual donors that have been phenomenal. Yeah. So, I mean, people have really been supportive of Family Promise, and it's been great.
Yeah, and that $3,000 figures, that's a monthly dollar.
Yes, monthly dollar. Yep, you're right. So and what we talk about with families is we talk about sustainability and how you can sustain your income and sustain your bills. So if they're going to be having to make a certain amount of money every month, we talk to them about that so their expenses are paid. We need the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, if we have a certain amount of money coming in every month, then we can actually, continue to provide what we provide for homeless families.
Aaron Lehman is our guest this morning. We're talking about Family Promise and how it works here in Indiana County. Is that typical of other Family Promise organizations, the way that it's done in Indiana County? Yeah,
we're pretty much, all the organizations are about the same structure. A lot of them have maybe an assistant executive director or, some more staff, but pretty much we're all using the interfaith community to come together to provide support for homeless families. And the family goes on the child. So if it's a grandparent and a child, if it's a dad and a child, if it's a mom and a child, whoever the child is living with is who the family is.
Okay. Well, take me through a common type of transaction from referral to getting the child, the family placed in a place and say they're there for 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't necessarily mean they're in one place for 2 or 3 weeks, does it?
Exactly, yeah. And Carol, does more with that. But pretty much, if we get a referral, they come in, we talk to them, find out what the situation is, and then they come into the program, and they're at the day center during the day. So what happens is they learn fiscal responsibility, they learn different ways of living, and then at night they're going to the different churches. And then what happens is after they are further in the program and they can start to live on their own, we have a transition house that they go into. Mm-hmm. And after they get in the transition house, they learn how to keep a house. They learn how to do, everything you need to do with a house. Yeah. And then after that, they go into society. So it's, yeah.
And obviously, families come with different levels of expertise and experience in setting up a household.
Yeah, I mean, there's generational poverty and situational poverty. Generational poverty is people that their families have always lived on the system, so they don't know any other way. And what we do is we get them into the program, we teach them how to not live on the system, and they become functioning members of society. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are on welfare, they're on food stamps, and we want to get them off of there so they could start doing different things. There's situational poverty, and that's when a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, so they're one paycheck away from being homeless. Mm-hmm. So situational poverty would be they lose their job, they don't have income, they get kicked out of their house, and then, or they can't stay in where they're renting, and then we end up getting them into the program.
Yeah. So all of that is a part of the whole homeless situation. I know when Lisa Spencer has come in and talked about homelessness in Indiana County, she said the exact thing that you said, that sometimes it's hard to find the homeless people in Indiana County because they're pretty good and resilient at finding themselves accommodations, but they're there, mm-hmm. and they certainly need assistance, and that's where Family Promise steps up. Resources. What are the resources that people can use to learn more about Family Promise?
The website, Indiana County Family Promise. It would be one of the things. Facebook. Mm-hmm. We have Facebook, and even at different events we have in the fall. We have our Monopoly event, which is a life-size Monopoly board that we have businesses support. And that's a way to learn about it. We have a basket bash coming up. I think all the tickets are sold out on Saturday. But, even going to the day center and talking to Carol is definitely a good way to do it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity, isn't it, for
mm-hmm.
folks to get involved. From the faith community, yes, but from really any aspect of society, there are people that need help, and Family Promise is there for them.
Exactly. And that's why I'm proud to be president of the board of it, because I feel very strongly about our mission and what we're doing and the success we're having. And that's, all you could do is, try what you can. We're doing that, and we're actually, doing very well. So it's been wonderful.
See what works.
Yeah, exactly.
You go out and you see what works.
Yes, you do.
If it isn't working, you try something else.
Yeah. One thing that I will say is there was a newspaper article that came out about a year or 2 years ago, and it said that we had zero homelessness. This is going back to what your
that was the point in time survey.
Yeah, and then what they did is we would have had to have every single homeless person on the street in order for them to get counted, because HUD considers people that have a roof over their head or they can't count them as not being homeless.
Yeah.
So what happens is there's a huge population, but they wouldn't come out because, let's face it, they're, you said, they're
Plus, that point in time survey is done in the middle of January.
Yes. So it's cold, and yes, everybody, exactly. So there is homeless out there. There are families that are living in cars, and all we're trying to do is help them.
Yeah. Terrific stuff.
Yes.
Family Promise of IndianaCounty.com or org?
Yes. Family Promise of IndianaCounty.com.
.com. Very
Yes.
good. Aaron, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and thanks for coming in to tell us all about Family Promise. We've got to keep up to date on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when it comes Monopoly time again, you let us know.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'll probably be in, or one of the board members will be in to talk about Family Promise. Yeah, so we can do it that way. That would be great.
Terrific stuff. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM.